Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I'm going to do a review of the movie Dear White People. And I just want to share my thoughts with you, and I welcome your comments and your feedback. Like a week ago, I saw Dear White People. I thought that it was an entertaining movie. It was thought provoking. They dealt with the question of race. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with this movie, and this is well after the movie was released. I recently saw the DVD. I got it on, from Redbox, and I just wanted to share my thoughts about the movie. So, just to give you some background, it's about African American students on a predominantly white campus. And from what I assume, it's an Ivy League school. It's supposed to be an Ivy League school. There's a black minority community there. And there's a radio program on campus called Dear White People. And it features a young, strong minded, conscious African American woman who spouts her views on race. And she addresses various criticisms and concerns to the white community on campus. And that's why her program is entitled Dear White People. So she constantly brings up issues of race. She talks about race throughout the movie on her program and just in her social interactions. So this program deals with the racial tension that exists on campus. It deals with a lot of the problems that African Americans face in these types of settings where there's a predominantly white campus and African Americans are the minority. So they talk about those issues throughout the movie, and then there's one major scene that involves a group of white students who basically have a minstrel party where they wear blackface and dress up like buffoons, dress up like gangsters and thugs and all that kind of stuff to make mockery of African American people. So at that point, things come to a head, and the African American students go to investigate this party after one African American student basically tells the community that these white students are having this blackface party. And this takes place during Halloween time. So they're having this dress up and all that kind of stuff during Halloween. And this is real typical. This is not something that's rare. It's not something that's like an anomaly. Every Halloween, there are constantly stories about all these white people putting on blackface to make mockery of black people. So this is not, something that's far-fetched or anything. So that's one of the main high points of the movie when they deal with this whole issue of this racist party on campus. But throughout the movie, there are racial dynamics, and I just wanted to talk about some of the dynamics. And one of them in particular that I found kind of odd and actually a little disturbing is that all the characters, just about all the major characters in this movie, were involved in interracial relationships. And I know a lot of people don't see nothing wrong with that. They don't care nothing about that. They think that it's cool and all that stuff. But that's not my perspective. I mean, you had this militant black woman making all these pro-black statements, throughout the movie, sounding all militant and stuff like that, like she's down for the people. And then there's this scene where she's talking to this white guy, and it becomes clear that she's in a relationship with this guy. She ends up sleeping with him, and it wasn't like a one-night stand or anything like that, but they had been in a long-term relationship. And every single major character in this movie this African American is involved in an interracial relationship. You have this African American man who is uh, really into student politics. He's running for president of a particular dorm or something like that. And this guy is involved in a relationship with a white woman as well. And both of these characters, and then there's a gay character in this movie. You know, they all like modern day movies. For some reason, they feel the need to placate to the homosexual community and stuff like that. So they always toss in a homosexual in all these movies. So even the homosexual is with a white man. You know, this homosexual guy, he can't even. I mean, he's with a white man. You know, so everybody in this movie is with someone other than their own black brothers and sisters. You know, they're all with involved in some interracial relationship. So, I mean, I found that to be a little bit odd, you know, especially this African American woman who's talking all this black stuff, but yet she's with a white man. And I know that there are examples of people who are down for the cause that are that date interracially and all that kind of stuff. And I won't, you know, say that they have zero credibility, but I think that it does undermine your credibility if you're talking all this pro-black stuff and you can't even be with a black man or a black woman. There's something wrong with that picture. But I mean, I understand that they're on a campus that's predominantly white. There are probably fewer African Americans uh, for someone to date and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I know that people will use that as an excuse. And in this movie, like, even though most of these characters were mainly with in interracial relationships with white people, they also had like little flings with African American characters as well. So it's like these African American characters were like the side pieces, but the main pieces were these white people. And I have a problem with that, especially if you're doing a film about race. And who you choose for your spouse says a lot about who you are. It says a lot about your values and stuff. So, you know, that's one reservation that I had about it. But I encourage everyone to check out this movie. I'm sure everybody's already seen it by now. It's like so late. The movie came out a while ago. But I saw it recently and I just felt the need to give you my 2 cents about the movie. And, you know, I welcome your comments. Tell me what you thought about the movie. Tell me what you thought about my commentary or my perspective. Peace.